Hola, welcome to Fun for Spanish Materials. Today's video is going to be about where to put the pronouns. So first, let's see what the pronouns are. So the pronouns are these words that we were using in reflexives, indirect objects, indirect objects that we're going to see very soon. Yeah. Remember when I say yo me ducho, I take a shower, or yo me voy, I leave, or tú te duchas, tú te vas, right? So these me, these te, are the reflexive pronouns. And the direct object pronouns were like, remember, I sold her, yo la vendí, or I bought it, yo lo compré. So this la, lo, yeah. I love them, yo los amo. So this kind of little words like them, it, yeah. So now we're going to learn how to put this. We already talked about this before, but we're going to talk about this again. And the survive level, we talked about this in a video called Two Verbs in a Row and Three Verbal Structures. You can have a look at this. And yeah, everything is explained there. But now that we learned the direct object pronouns, we're gonna talk about this again. If you have one verb, the pronouns always will go before the verb. Let's have a look at some examples. I kiss her. Well, in English it goes after the verb, but in Spanish is yo la beso. So as you can see, the la comes before the verb here, right? Next example, I take a shower. Well, you know that to take a shower is reflexive. So, yo me ducho, right? So the me goes before the verb, yeah, duchar, yeah. Yo me ducho. I make them. The sauces, let's say you're making sauces, so I make them. Yo las hago. So these pronouns, la, me, la, they go before the verb. Yeah. Yo la beso, yo me ducho, yo las hago. Why? Because there is just one verb. Okay. So always when there is one verb, they are going to come, all these pronouns are going to come before the verb. Yeah. So what happens when we have two verbs in a row? And we talked about this before. When we have two verbs in a row, well, first of all, the second verb always, always goes in infinitive, no matter the tense. No matter if it's present, past, future, it doesn't matter. Always, when you have two verbs in a row, the second one is gonna be in infinitive. Let's have a look at these examples. I want to kiss her. So, I want to kiss her. In English, we have two verbs. I want to kiss, and her is gonna be the pronoun. And as you can see in English, you put it after the two verbs. In Spanish, you can do both. You can put this before or after the two verbs. So, yo quiero besar is I want to kiss. I want to kiss her is yo la quiero besar. So the pronoun goes before the two verbs. Or yo quiero besarla. And besarla becomes one word. Yeah. So here, la quiero besar is what is not one word, it's two different words. But quiero besarla, besarla becomes one word. Next example, I have to take a shower. So you have two verbs, have to, and then take a shower, right? And you know that to take a shower is reflexive, is ducharse, right? So if I want to say I have to take a shower, so tengo que duchar, me will be one, tengo que ducharme, and the ducharme becomes one word, but you could also say me tengo que duchar. Yeah, me tengo que duchar. So the me can be either before the two verbs or after the two verbs. Yeah, before the verb tengo que duchar, me tengo que duchar o tengo que ducharme. Yeah. Last example. I have to make them. So now I'm saying I have to make them. Yeah, we have two verbs. I have to make them. They are in a row. So I could say las tengo que hacer. It's like las tengo que hacer. We have the two verbs here. Tengo que hacer. O tengo que hacer las. So here I'm putting the pronoun at the end after the two verbs. So either before the two verbs or after the two verbs. If it goes after the two verbs, this is going to become one word with the pronoun. Yeah. What do I recommend? Or do we recommend to try to, I mean, if you put it at the end, it's more similar to English because you say, I want to kiss her. So you see, this the her goes after the two verbs. Yo quiero besarla. I want to kiss her. So it's very similar. I have to take a shower. Well, tengo que ducharme. Well, in this case, it's not the case because you don't have reflexive verbs. But I have to make them here is better if we say tengo que hacerlas, right? Because it's the same order. I have to make, tengo que hacer them las. Tengo que hacerlas. I have to make them. So I think it's better if we use the pronouns at the end for English speakers. And one thing here is that, yeah, if you have just one verb, yes or yes, you have to put these pronouns before the verb. So still you have to learn both ways. Yeah. If you want to go, like, I mean, you can also just put it always at the beginning. So it doesn't matter if it's one verb or two, it's going to be correct. That's another approach. You can also take this approach. Yeah. You always put it at the beginning and that's it. It's going to be always correct. So here we talked about the two most important situations when you have to like place the pronouns. But there are other three situations that are not very important, but we're gonna look at them since we already talked about the imperatives. So when you have imperatives, if you have an affirmative imperative, we talked about this. All these pronouns are gonna go after and it's going to become one word. But if you have a negative imperative, the pronouns are going to go before and it's going to be a separate word. It's not going to become one word. Let's have a look at some examples here. Kisser, like, hey, kisser. So that will be besala. So you see, it goes after the verb besar. Besala. Take a shower. Dúchate. So here is like take a shower. Dúchate. Break them or make them. Doesn't matter. Rómpelas o hazlas. Yeah. Um, Negative imperative, then they are not gonna go at the end, right? They are gonna go before. So let's say don't kiss her. No la beses. You see, so here the pronoun goes before the verb. Don't take a shower. No te duches. So it's coming before the verb. Don't break them. No las rompas is coming before the verb. So you see, it's different to put it. It's different if you put it before or after, and that depends if it's affirmative or negative. You might be thinking, yeah, but how am I supposed to do this? This is really difficult, right? I know, I know. But what you could do is just do it with the affirmative for now. Just take care of these ones. Why? Because they are similar to English. Kisser, besala, break them, rompelas. And as you can see, it goes at the end. So this must is more intuitive, yeah, for you to use this in imperative, affirmative. And for the negative, you're gonna do it later. Yeah, you can practice this, but later. So you are. I mean, first, I think it's better if you just do the affirmative, like do it, kiss her, make it, bring it, pass me, all this stuff. Just do it with the affirmative. And when you do the negative, like don't kiss her, don't bring me, don't pass me, then you're gonna have to think a little bit about this, and you're gonna practice it um, later. But it's not that terrible because the only thing you have to do is just to put it before the verb, and we already did it here. Yeah. when we have one verb, we were putting it before. So you're already used to this. It's not something completely new. It's just you have to get used to the fact that the if it's imperative affirmative is going to be one thing, and then if it's imperative negative, it's going to be another thing. That's all. So with this, we have already four, and the last one is when we have prepositions. Yeah. So after prepositions, the pronouns go after, and it's gonna become one word, like what we saw before. Yeah. Also, something extremely important is that verbs after prepositions are are always in infinitive, always in infinitive, and prepositions are with, without, by, about, on, off. And Spanish will be con, sin, I don't know, por, para, sobre, eh, yeah, desde. All of those are like prepositions. So after prepositions, verbs will always go in infinitive. For example, without kissing her, like do it without kissing her. Sorry, this example is weird, but yeah. So sin besarla, right? So um, sin is a preposition, but besar, right, is the verb to kiss, and it goes in infinitive, as you can see here. Yeah, sin besar, it goes in infinitive, and then you're gonna put the pronoun after the verb, and it's gonna become one word, sin besarla. To take a shower, this is like para ducharte, like to take a shower, or in order to take a shower. Yeah, para ducharte. So ducharte, infinitive. Yeah, it is an infinitive because it's duchar. And te is te because you're talking about you. Para ducharte, blah, 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 blah. It could have been para ducharse if it's a third person. Para ducharme, tengo que esperar. You know, they're all infinitive. By breaking them, oh, interesting. So it's like for example, you say you don't solve anything by breaking them. That's a beautiful example. So tú no resuelves nada con romperlas, the strings. So this by breaking them here, it will be more like we use the con for this specific example. So tú no vas a resolver nada con romperlas. And because con is a preposition, romper has to go in infinitive, and the pronoun is going to be right after it. Yeah, by breaking them. That will be it. So now you know the five different ways to position the pronouns. Yeah, reflexives and direct. Yeah. Later we are gonna talk about the indirect. This is a topic that's coming very soon, and it's gonna apply the same, exactly the same way. Yeah. So yeah, that will be it. Is just you can read these questions and answers, but it's pretty much to know the first one verb, the second two verbs in a row. Those two are the most important ones, and those two you have to nail them yes or yes. And then for the imperatives, affirmative and negative, yeah, practice maybe the affirmative a little bit more at the beginning. Then later on, you can incorporate the negative imperative. You know, yeah, because it's overwhelming to do everything at the same time. And with prepositions, after prepositions, these sentences are very rare. You have them, yes, you're gonna hear them, but they are not very common. So, but anyways, it's good to know. So later you can also incorporate this. That will be it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Gracias, hasta luego y nos vemos. Bye bye.